Hey everybody, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm Ken, and today I want to show you an absolutely delicious and simple recipe for braised potatoes in the oven. In Greek, this is a very traditional recipe called patates Yiahni. And what this is basically sliced potatoes, all done in one pan in a light and very flavorful and aromatic tomato sauce, slowly baked in the oven for maybe about an hour and a half, and it turns out absolutely delicious. So to start us off, I'm using basically a non-stick 9x14 pan. You can use whatever you have, totally cool. And along with this, I am using about 4 pounds of russet potatoes. Now, I've already pre-peeled these potatoes. You really don't need to watch me peel potatoes. It's right up there with watching paint dry. While I'm slicing up my potatoes, and again, you can cube them up, you can chop them up, whatever you like, a good idea is to preheat your oven 400 degrees Fahrenheit or about 200 degrees Celsius, and get that going so that way by the time we're ready to pop our pan in, it's ready to go as well. All right, so now our potatoes are sliced up, they're in our pan, ready to go. Just evenly layer them, just like that, nothing to this. We're on to our next step, which is preparing our braising liquid or our braising sauce. All right, so the next part of this, like we said, is the sauce or our braising liquid. And for this, all I'm basically going to do is empty out the bowl that our potatoes were soaking in with water. Very easy. You don't actually have to pre-cook this recipe because everything gets baked off in the oven. And with the help of our trusty food processor here, what I'm going to do is very simply use 2 carrots and slice these up. You're going to use a couple of sticks of celery, go in just like that. Next thing to go in is 1 onion, just like that. Nothing to this at all, right? So I'm gonna take this now, empty it out, and put all of our sliced veggies into our bowl. It's basically a mixing bowl. And for this, very, very easy as well, I'm gonna take some garlic. I like to go heavier on the garlic here. I'm using about 4 or 5 smaller cloves. You can never have too much garlic, believe me. And just very simply just chop it up. So the next thing to go in is some chopped parsley. Small handful, maybe a cup or so of chopped parsley. Here you want to go a little heavier on the salt because you're salting not only the sauce, but you're salting the potatoes as well. Some fresh cracked black pepper. Now at this stage, if you're into kicking things up with a little bit of spice, you may want to add a little bit of sriracha sauce. You can add a little chili pepper, whatever, just to spice it up a little bit. Along with this goes 28 ounces of crushed tomatoes. Judging by the consistency of this, you can see that obviously we're going to need to add some liquid to this because this is way too tight. So what I'm going to do is just take our empty passata jar and add a little bit of liquid. Actually, I want to fill it up with some liquid. Give that a shake in there. Get all the crushed tomato goodness out. And just add it to our mixture and slowly start stirring it until you want this almost like a runny consistency, because the goal here is to have our potatoes about halfway covered before we put them in to bake off. The hell, I'll put the whole thing in. Flavor's flavor. All right, so this goes in, and now stir this very slowly and carefully, because believe me when I tell you, once you start and this thing starts slopping around on you, it's gonna get messy. So here we have our tomato paste. It's absolutely fantastic. And there it goes. Now, Nothing to this recipe so far. Very easy. And what we're gonna do now is just take this and slowly pour this goodness over our potatoes. Make sure it doesn't go all over your floor. Just like that. That's perfect. Even it all out. Now, I think, to tell you the truth, this may still be a little too tight. Perfect. So this sauce, as you can see, is not complicated at all. It's basically carrots, celery, onion, a mirepoix, as the fancy schmancy say. And from there, we just pile it over the potatoes. And I think it's perfect, actually. The consistency that we want and the actual quantity is actually perfect. This is ready to go. So we're gonna pop this in, but before we do, we need some olive oil. Greek extra virgin olive oil, no less. And you don't want a chintzy on this. This is very important. Add a solid quarter cup, third of a cup into this. It's only gonna add to the flavor. So that's perfect there. And now the next part of this is covering this with foil. This is now gonna go into a 400-degree oven, which is preheated, and it's gonna just bake off, roast off for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So just cover that up nice and easy, just like that, and into the oven it goes. All right, so now my potatoes Yiahni are ready. They're just out of the oven. It's been in there, or they've been in there for about 2 hours, give or take. And now, very carefully, we're gonna just start opening this up. Man, this is like a gift at Christmas. So just, you can just smell now all that goodness, all that deliciousness. Check this out, absolutely perfect. It's fantastic. The liquid has been absorbed into the softening of the potatoes. There's a nice layer on top of our veggies. I'm gonna grab a little plate here. And this is gonna be hot as hell, I can tell you that. But this is so worth, I just wanna try it, and I wanna get you guys to see how beautiful this looks. Just look at the color on the white plate. It's absolutely fantastic. Wow, isn't that gorgeous? I'll try a little sample piece for me, just to try it out, you know, make sure I know what I'm talking about here. And the potatoes are actually done. They're almost like baked on the inside. All the veggies are perfect. So now, it's still smoking. This is crazy. Wow. A lot of people will eat this even on its own as a main, but this will go with chicken, beef, pork, anything at all. Even like fish, some beautiful like baked or poached salmon, fantastic. Can't stop eating this thing. Like the roof of my mouth is gonna like basically melt, but so good. I can't stop eating this, but I will. So that's it for this episode yet again on basically braised potatoes Greek style in the oven, or patatas Yiahni. Very easy to make, simple, only a few ingredients, a one-pan meal, and you're off to the races. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, I'm Ken, aka The Lazy Gourmet. Hit the like button, subscribe, and thanks for your time. Bye for now.